you feel like you're a bit out of alignment or lacking joy or living a life that doesn't seem to be yours? Well, if that's the case, this video is for you. I'm Jenna Blossoms. I'm a French spiritual guide and teacher, an author, and today I'm going to share with you 5 tips to reconnect to your soul and to feel that sense of alignment and fulfillment. Maybe let's do a reminder first. What is the soul? The soul is that inner divine essence that is within us. It comes to incarnate through this body and this identity, and then it goes on to live in different lives, different experiences. It's that sense of wisdom, the entity that had a vision for you in this life. It wanted you to live some experiences, to grow, to develop some soul qualities, and it actually laid a little bit of the path that you were supposed to take in this lifetime. So behind that identity that you are experiencing in this life, and that is actually very precious for the soul, there is that beautiful, radiant energy. And when we step outside of that alignment, that connection with the soul, we feel like we are living a life that is not ours. We feel a sense of lack of longing and sometimes, yes, even depression. And so it's actually very important to realign to the soul regularly, to feel that you are embodying that inner wisdom, inner essence that is unique and yours. So the first tip to reconnect to your soul is to actually invoke it, call upon it and ask it to be present in your life. You can have a small prayer like, I'm inviting my soul to live my life or to lead me to the best outcome possible, or I invite it to be vibrating in every cell of my body, for example, whatever works for you. But please call it. It will come. Not that it's outside somewhere else and that it's forgotten you, but when you do that, you're actually creating a vibration of opening to your soul. You're saying to the universe, I want to move back home and feel that sense of belonging. The second tip is to observe, listen, and honor what is there. Whether it's a recurring thought, whether it's an emotion, whether it's a feeling. Most of the time we live our life moving on to the next thing in a hurry, when actually the soul speaks a very subtle language. And when we are familiar with our feelings, with our sensations, with our subtle intuitive nudges, we can be much more connected to the soul. Let me tell you a story to explain that. 9 years ago, something like that, I was having that message coming to me all the time, open a blog, open a blog. And my mind was like, no, a blog is so like the last decade. Even if I did one, I don't think anybody would read it. And even if some people would read it, I would stop for sure after a few articles. So you see, I had all of those excuses and ideas that it wouldn't work. Until I had a cervicalgia, I think it's called like that. It's like when your cervicals, when your neck is actually stuck. And I was working at the time and I couldn't move my neck. I was stuck. And so I was only like very tensed and could look forward. Until actually I acknowledged what was inside of me. There was, yes, if I was being honest, a tiny, curiosity and desire to see what would happen if I did do like that message was telling me to and opened a blog. So I did it. And I said to myself, I'm not going to share it with anybody. I'm just going to share my vision of spirituality, my tips, my experience as a very young person, being very connected and intuitive. And the thing is, I had so much fun doing it that I started to share it with a few people and on a few Facebook groups, which were at the time the way to share things. And it went viral. So many people were identifying with what I was sharing and contacted me, and this is how it all started, my journey as being a spiritual teacher, an author, and I'm almost 10 years later, here I am in this tiny channel in English, but the French one's much bigger, and I have a big career in that field. And so I had at some point to acknowledge what was inside me and to be kind of true and honest with myself and not to try to overlook what was trying to make its way within my heart. So I'm curious, has that ever happened to you? And if so, please share it in the comments, because I think it's very empowering to see and hear other people's stories. My third tip would be to visualize a more evolved version of yourself. So you can think like a twin self or a doppelganger or like a double of you that is at a vibrational state much higher, more wiser, more compassionate. Every beautiful qualities that you associate with being spiritually advanced, you imagine that version of you possessing them. And then you ask them for guidance. You can say, what do I do in this situation? And then you can imagine and have fun with it. What would that more advanced version of you say? Recommend? Maybe they have ideas that you have not considered. Maybe they have a piece of advice that is actually pretty critical for you right now. So do that exercise. Maybe you can do it writing or out loud or just in a meditation. It's actually really fun and it works really well. My fourth tip is creative expression. Whether it's through dancing, writing, drawing, taking pictures, let your creativity flow freely. Because when you do so, when you express yourself authentically, without so much thinking of the outcome, but just enjoying the process, you give more space, more room for your soul to express. Because the soul likes creativity, it likes inspiration, it likes being able to share and to live and to be without any boundary. So don't be afraid to sometimes venture yourself into a creative experience, into a creative endeavor, and see what happens. See how you feel, see what comes out of you, what colors, what music, what design, because your soul might be as well trying to speak to you through that. And the fifth tip is pretty much related. It's to follow your passion. Follow what makes you feel joyful. That feeling of joy, of being exactly at the right place, of feeling fulfilled, even if it's just temporary, even if you're not even very good at it, just follow that. Do more of that in your life. I swear to you, this is the moment where your soul feels really here, really present, really acknowledged. And you know what happens when we're in the flow doing something? The mind gets quiet. It calms down. So then the soul can come up and it can share, it can be here, it can give you nudges, intuitions, inspirations. It can lead you to exactly where you want to go because you're actually vibrating at a much similar frequency. So I'm curious, what is your way of reconnecting with your soul? Share it in the comments below. And I really hope that this video has inspired you to go back to that alignment and to make your beautiful and unique soul shine through everything you do in your life. And I have another piece of advice for you that comes in the form of this next video. If you want to stay true to your soul without getting lost in being too nice, I highly recommend you watch that video. It's short, it's powerful, and it's gonna help you a lot. Until then, stay connected and see you next time.